this is Jennifer Schaefer, People's Realtor of Colorado, coming back to you today with Robert Greene's 14th Law of Power: pose as a friend, work as a spy. And of course, this sounds very dramatic, like a lot of Robert Greene's laws. They were written to be exciting reading, but they are also incredibly important for real-world real estate transactions, especially this law: pose as a friend, work as a spy. And when Robert Greene said work as a spy, what he meant, in order for you to use this correctly, is that you should know how to probe in polite social encounters, and you should know how to get the other side to voluntarily reveal information about their intentions or their weaknesses that could allow you to get the best possible deal for yourself, and also protect yourself from being pressed by the other side if they ever decide to do that. And the keys to remembering how to use this law correctly, you can put into 3 easy steps. Number 1, disarm the other side with friendliness, trustworthiness, responsiveness. They should always feel like you are the ultimate honest actor on top of being a nice, friendly person. Step 2, allow yourself to ask questions that are appropriate, but also can bridge the gateway for them to divulge information about their personal and financial situation that you can use to your advantage. And step 3, listen and let them talk as much as they want to, because you never know when someone is going to reveal a nugget of incredibly important information that you can ultimately use to your own advantage or for your own protection. And if you think that the other side of a real estate negotiation will never just voluntarily cough up information that is damaging to their negotiating position, I just ask you to consider the fact that there are so many laws protecting people from self-incrimination, because from the beginning of time, when criminals or suspected criminals have been talking to police and law enforcement, they have always historically given up information that is damaging, can get them permanently imprisoned or worse. And in a real estate negotiation, there are lower stakes. So it's entirely reasonable to expect that if people are going to do that when there's a lot more on the line, like their freedom or their life, of course, they can do things that will essentially give you a controlling position in a negotiation. And that is where you want to be. So the first thing to emphasize here is your questions should always be appropriate, not alienating. And when you're talking to somebody and asking questions like, what would be the optimal close deadline for you? You can let them open up about how urgent it is that they buy a new home. Why do they want to buy a new home? And what are the other offers that they have on the table? Or selling a home, the same principles apply. How do your offers compare to the other options on the table? That is a fine thing to look into, but the best way to pose as a friend is to ask questions that will allow you to know how to meet their needs. And then, if it's a natural extension of the conversation, they could give you a lot more information than that. And if you know how to play your cards right, you can ask questions that allow them to voluntarily give up that useful detail to you. And the other thing to highlight about all this is that in the same way, it's really important for people not to talk to the police and give up potentially damaging information if they're being questioned until they speak with a lawyer, is principle that also applies in real estate, which is if you don't know what not to say, let your agent do the talking for you. Covered that a lot in, for example, the Law 3 and Law 11 videos, which I recommend that you go look at. But this is key. If you think that you are not sure or you don't have the proper training to avoid giving up compromising information to the other side in a real estate transaction, don't talk to them. But even if you don't talk to them, This is not in any way me encouraging you to be unfriendly or hostile. It's actually the exact opposite. Remember, the first part of this law is to pose as a friend because, number one, you want them to give up that information to you voluntarily, and also you have to keep in mind that they're not actually your friend. They're a business partner. And in many cases, they have conflicting interests with yours. And so in the event that they seem friendly, just keep in mind that's not how you should think of them primarily, because the reality of the situation is that no matter how good of a person they are, they may be great people. You may like them. Be friends after the real estate negotiation, after the closing. That's absolutely great. But the reason you are here is because you need to do business. And in order to do that, obviously it helps to be cordial, it helps for them to like you, and if they're being very friendly, just keep in mind that they may be wanting you to divulge information that they could use to their advantage at your expense. And so that is the rundown of how you can use Robert Greene's 14th law of power in real life. Pose as a friend, work as a spy, so that you will end up in the position that you want to be in this negotiation and in this real estate deal, which is the position of control. I'm Jennifer Schaefer, People's Realtor of Colorado. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you think there are any other real estate videos that I should make. Most importantly, if you are thinking of buying or selling real estate in the state of Colorado, please do reach out to me anytime through my social media or my website, which are linked in the description below. Thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye-bye.